Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another important topic for SVG, that is process to draw a circle on SVG. Okay, prior to this session, we discussed how to draw a rectangle on SVG. This time, we are going to continue the session where we will talk about how to draw a circle, what all parameters are required, how we can pass those parameters, and what impact it will create if we change the values of parameter. These all things we will discuss in this particular session. But before we start the session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just focusing on only on the circle related things, like what all parameters we can pass and how it will change the results. Clear? Alright, now why I'm saying that please refer previous session, because somewhere they all are connected with each other. We have already discussed about the canvas in detail, right? So this session would be more easy for you if you know about canvas. Why? Because we will learn in comparison. Because for drawing the graphic we have two things, one is canvas, one is SVG. Okay, so that's the reason I'm suggesting you to please check the previous session. Now let's start the discussion regarding circle. So here you can see the code is straightforward. We have just noted down one title in the head section, and there is one heading which is HTML by Sharmit. Now you can save this and refresh the browser. Once you refresh the browser, you will see HTML by Sharmit is printed over here. Clear? Which is the heading. Now what we will do, we will similarly add another heading, and here we will write process to draw a circle on SVG. Okay, process to draw a circle on SVG. Now you can save this and refresh it. So after a refresh, you will see process to draw a circle on SVG has printed now. Just after this, what we will do, we will add the SVG. Now those who don't know about SVG, it's a scalable vector graphic, and it's a kind of you can say in a simple or layman term, you can say that it is a kind of sheet or a paper where we will be drawing the shapes. Okay, so to add that, what we will do, we will use here SVG element. So write like this, SVG. Then we can provide height and width to this. So let me set width first. So width would be 600 pixels. Then we will set height. Height would be 300 pixel. Then I think that's it for now. Let's save it and refresh it. So once you refresh it, you will see that there is nothing shown on the screen, although like the SVG is added on the screen, but it is not visible. Why? Because this time there is no border that will help us to identify what all area it is covering. Okay, how many area it is covering. So to add that, we will add here style attribute, and with style we will set the border. So let's apply border 5px solid black. Okay, now save it and refresh it. So after a refresh, you can see one black border SVG is added on your web browser to draw the things. Now one more thing I want to tell you here, like those who know about the canvas, it looks similar to canvas, right? But in case of canvas, what were the things, like we were supposed to use JavaScript in order to draw something on a canvas. But in case of SVG, there is no need to include JavaScript. You can simply draw the things on the basis of SVG itself. How? Let me show you. So we have added this. Now let's say if you want to increase the height or maybe the width, so you can simply change the values here. Like if I make it as 500, it would look like this. If I make it as 800, it would look like this. Clear? So we have just drawn one SVG. Now on this SVG, we will draw one circle. So to draw the circle, as I mentioned, there is no need to include JavaScript. You can simply write here circle. Okay, let me correct the spelling. There is a spelling mistake. So you can write circle, that's it. Okay, now in the circle element, what we are supposed to pass, we are supposed to pass few parameters like, or maybe the attributes like, firstly r. Firstly I'll write the values, then I'll tell you each and everything in detail, what is r, what is cx, what is cy. But for now I'm just putting the values. R equals to 45, then we have cx would be 50, then we have cy, it would be 50 again. Now you can save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that this circle is coming here with a black color. Now if we talk about this value, so let's discuss it in detail. The first value we provided here is the 45, which is r. So what is r? First and very important thing is, this is the mandatory keyword attribute. If you are not providing this r value, it won't draw the circle for you. Okay, the moment when you remove this and save the browser, you will see that circle is not there, right? Okay, so first thing is, this is mandatory. Now what it means? It means that we are going to this r is defining the radius of the circle. Okay, so let's say if you refresh it, now you want to increase the radius of the circle. So what you can do, you can make it as 55. Let me save it correctly. Okay, so now you can see circle is enlarged. Why? Because we have enhanced its radius, although like it is touching the SVG border because it goes beyond that. But similarly, let's say if I want to make it smaller, so I can just say change it, and now you can see the radius is 25, so the circle is smaller. Clear? So circle is smaller. So likewise we have to maintain the things. If we want to increase the radius of the circle, we can change the value of r. If we want to reduce the radius of the circle, we can change the value of r. So basically we can say that r is the radius of the circle. Clear? Now let's move to the next point, which is cx. What is cx? Cx is the position of circle on x-axis. Suppose instead of here, I want to draw it somewhere in the middle. So what I can do, I can simply provide a here maybe 160, save it and refresh it. Let me change it to 90, I guess. Something, oh okay, we made a mistake here, so let's make it okay. So now we can make it as 190. Okay, save it, refresh it. So now you can see it is moving on the x-axis. Similarly, if I want to move it more, I can change it to 290 and maybe 350. So now you can see it is moving on the x-axis. In case if you are not providing this value, because this is not mandatory value, so in this situation what it will do, it will start from the initial of the SVG. Okay, just look at the x-axis, not on y-axis. Okay, so by default cx value is 1. So if you are not providing it, it will be considered as 1. Now likewise, if you want to change the position on y-axis, so in that case you can change this value on cy element. So you can see here it is changing on y-axis. Clear? Similarly here as well, if you remove this value from cy, so what it will do, it will simply go on the first position of y-axis. Clear? So this is all about these three attributes that we can pass. Now some of you might be thinking like, is it possible to change the values, the color of the circle? Yes, we can. For that you just need to write here one more attribute, which is fill. So I can write simply here fill, color would be red, not like this, it should be inside this red. Okay, save it, refresh it. So now you can see circle is of red color. Now if you want to apply some stroke to it, means outline, so you can provide the stroke color blue, save it, refresh it. So you can see a thin border is coming. But if you want to enhance the width, you can write here stroke width equal 10, save it, refresh it. So now you can see this border is coming as a blue. Okay, likewise if you want to change the opacity, which we already discussed in last session, so you can set the opacity as well. So now you can see it is bit dull. Why? Because we have set the opacity as 0.5. Similarly, you can find out, it's just a small assignment for you, that try to find out a way to set the opacity for the border, although like it is discussed in previous session, but just for the assignment purpose I'm giving you this small task. Just find out like which attribute we can use it, and you can share the answer in the comment section. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.